Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or The Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down some humongous NFL breaking news that just ended up breaking on Twitter. That news being that Cooper Kupp is signing with the Seattle Seahawks. He got a 3-year deal worth $45 million. Now, not only is this important for the landscape of the NFL, but it is also very important for 2025 fantasy football, 2025 fantasy football drafts. We're going to be talking about it from two different perspectives. One, the perspective NFL-wise, and two, the perspective for fantasy football. I assume all of you guys already have seen this breaking news, whether it was on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe you were just watching ESPN or NFL and it ended up scrolling on the blurb down at the bottom. So this, to me, is kind of shocking. Now, I'm not shocked that Cooper Kupp would be worth $45 million. I don't think 3 years, $45 million is like some insane deal for Cooper Kupp. I know that a lot of people are going to be like, Cooper Kupp is washed, this, that, the other thing, after what we saw last season, because Puka Nakua's this beast, right? This, that, the other thing, and he kind of ended up throwing Cooper Kupp in the cuck chair. I think Cooper Kupp is still a solid NFL wide receiver, so I don't think the deal is really all that crazy. To me, it's just kind of shocking that it's the Seahawks. And why I say that is because it seemed to me like the Seahawks were trying to, not necessarily tank, not necessarily be like, hey, let's be the worst team in the NFL, but they get rid of Metcalf, he goes to the Steelers, and they get rid of Geno. And while I don't think if you're new to the channel, you might not know my opinion on Geno Smith, but I was never someone giving Geno Smith the fucking gawk 9,000 special, right? But getting rid of Geno Smith, it kind of, to me, shifted to, hey, let's kind of try to get young. They've got this great receiver, JSN. You get rid of Metcalf, you get rid of Tyler Lockett, and it's like, okay, they're going to try to do something new. And it's like, that makes sense. But then Sam Darnold, I get Sam Darnold isn't the youngest guy ever, but it's not like Sam Darnold's 35 either, right? So it's all starting to make sense. But then you bring in Cooper Kupp, right? So it's like you're kicking the can to another team. You kick DK Metcalf on a one-way ticket straight to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? But now you bring in Cooper Kupp, and that's kind of why this becomes like a question mark to me, right? I see like, oh, Cooper Kupp might want to go to the Broncos. It's like, okay, that makes perfect sense, right? You have these other teams. Oh, maybe the Patriots are interested in their 5,000th white slot receiver, right? Makes sense. Makes sense. But then when he signs with the Seahawks, it's just a little bit confusing because, again, maybe I'm just not reading the tea leaves correctly. This really, to me, seemed like a team that was kind of trying to rebuild. Then they just hop on Cooper Kupp. So I think that is interesting. I think Cooper Kupp does make the Seahawks better, right? Losing Lockett, losing DK Metcalf, Jake Bobo was like their wide receiver too. So now it's going to be JSN, Cooper Kupp. That's cool. I like that, right? For fantasy football, I like this spot. I think Sam Darnold, while he's another guy that I'm not really ready to say is like all that great, right? He had a really good year last year in Minnesota that ultimately came to it went out in flames. That's really the best way to put it, right? It's all adding up to being like, okay, maybe the Vikings will be the 1 seed. Then they don't get the 1 seed. It's like, okay. Then they go to the playoffs. You know what? They'll win that game, and they don't win that game, right? Sam Darnold plays like dog shit, and it's like, okay, now he's going to the Seahawks. So, like, Sam Darnold's good enough to feed the ball to Cooper Kupp. Sam Darnold is good enough to feed the ball to JSN. So this is good for fantasy because Cooper Kupp is going to be heavily utilized in this offense. I still do think if you're drafting in fantasy football and it was like JSN versus Cooper Kupp, gun to the head, I'm going to go with the younger player just because I feel like his upside is a little bit higher than Cooper Kupp. But people forget, man, that Cooper Kupp just a couple of years ago won the Triple Crown. He was going bananas in the Super Bowl, right? So Cooper Kupp still has the skills to pay the bills. It's just last year he kind of did taper off a little bit. So in my opinion, again, to kind of put a bow on things, I do find it a little bit weird that the Seahawks, who, to me, it seems like they're kind of doing all these things to rebuild, and then they bring in the guy from the Cowboys, and Lawrence, and now they're bringing in Cooper Kupp. It's like they're kind of like, instead of being in full tank, full rebuild mode or full contender mode, they're kind of like halfway in, halfway out, right? Halfway in the door, halfway out the door. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about Cooper Kupp joining the Seattle Seahawks. Who do you think scores more fantasy points this season? Gun to the head, you're like, Nick, in the 4th round, let's just envision they get picked in the 4th round. Who knows right now in March where he's going to actually get picked? But just think in the 4th round, you're up. And say they're both going in the 4th round. Are you selecting Jackson Smith-Njigba, or are you going to select Cooper Kupp? Do you think Cooper Kupp's washed? Let me know down below in the comment section. So congrats to my main man, Cooper Kupp. I've been a Cooper Kupp fan for years. There is a famous story that my friends will tell you. Not like you guys know my friends. Technically, I guess no, they're in the comment section sometimes. So you might have just talked to some of them. But there's a story how back in college, Cooper Kupp's freshman year, we were absolutely drunk off our ass, and they were asking me about football. I was like, you want to know who's going to be great? Cooper fucking Kupp, baby. And then guess what? Cooper Kupp was great. I saw the future. I'm a genius. For every bad take, I have a genius take like Cooper Kupp. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about Cooper Kupp. I love you guys so much. Genuinely thank you guys for all the support last season. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button like it owes you some money. Leave a like on today's video. It would help me out a ton. I love you guys more than you ever know. Hope you guys all have a great one. And as always, good boy.